Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlasting. I've got to say I'm delighted to be joined by Caoimhín Agyarko. Caoimhín, we spoke a little bit there about Saturday night, your win on Saturday night, but first and foremost, man, how did you assess your performance 2 days later?
I'm going to keep it positive because I feel like after every fight, I'm overly critical of myself. And listen, I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I can always do better. But tough Mexican, a southpaw on a week's notice. I got to give myself credit. 10 valuable rounds. I showed glimpses of how good of a boxer I can be. Also being aggressive and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a decent performance, a good win against a tough fighter.
Obviously, tough Mexican. We all know how tough Mexicans can be to stick to stereotyping Mexican fighters, but they are tough. They do come over here and they do come to fight. They don't come over here to guard up and roll over and stuff like that. But again, when you come up against a tough Mexican who's also a southpaw, who's long, who's rangy, I mean, it's a tough night for yourself, isn't it?
Yes, it is, mate. It's one thing you know when you've got Mexican is that it's not going to be an easy night. They never come to lie down. They're always coming to fight, and it was a tough fight, and probably what I needed in terms of rounds. You know what I mean? Most of my stoppages come in the third round. I've went 9 rounds twice, but I probably did need the 10 rounds, and it was a great learning fight for me.
The lead backhand was you were pinging his head back, snapping his head back with that lead backhand, the right hand. It seemed at nearly every round from the middle rounds onwards. Were you frustrated that you couldn't really get the knockdown or the stoppage after obviously hurting him a few times?
I was. Maybe I relied on that one punch to hurt him or wobble him a bit too much to then not be able to follow it up and finish him. I thought in the 8th round, I thought he was going to go. And then he held on. He clinched and just broke my momentum. After he did that, it was like he just lied on me a bit. And I can remember thinking, fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? I was just about to get going, but I know certain reasons why I didn't get the finish. I'm going to take a trip to A&E after I get both the hands x-rayed. My left hand went in the 4th and my right in the 6th. So when I was hitting him and hurting him, it was like I had him hurt and then I just couldn't jump on him to finish him because my hands were so sore.
I think that's what I noticed as well. It was the second phase when you did land, sort of like sometimes you'd throw the right backhand and come around with the left hook and then you sort of stepped off a little bit. You never really sort of went to the body as much. Now, I wondered if you'd hurt yourself a little bit.
Yeah, and that's another thing I think I've neglected in the last 2 fights as well. Even regardless of the hand situation, is I've neglected my body shots because I'm a very good body puncher, and that was the game plan to go downstairs early against him, and he looked a bit soft downstairs. So, and every time I hit him to the body, I could hear him kind of wincing. So, I kind of neglected that, but. Yeah, I couldn't really step on it and go through the gears and the second phase, third phase attacks because my hands are sore. I'm kind of nursing 2 bad hands right now and they're a bit swollen, but it is what it is. Got the win and kind of soldiered for it.
That's it. You're a tough opponent in only your 11th fight. Do you know what I mean? You were co-main event on a huge world title fight in Nottingham, huge Irish support. Did you feel any pressure going into that fight, being that was all over the zone, all over the world? So a lot of eyes were on Caoimhín Agyarko on Saturday night.
Do you know what? I don't get nervous for fights, right? I might have said this to you before. I kind of have to make myself nervous for fights in the change room, like psychologically trying to go through scenarios to get them nerves going. And I said to myself, I won't need to do that for this fight. I'm going to be nervous coming out because of the atmosphere in the crowd. And no, I wasn't. No pressure, no nothing. It was like I was in my element. Like if you watch my ring walk, as soon as I come out, I was smiling. And you never see me like that. I'm always zoned in on the fight. I don't let the crowd get to me. And not that it got to me, but I was smiling. I was just calm, relaxed, and I just was living in the moment. I loved it. I did think I was going to have a bit of nerves because it was the biggest crowd I've fought in front of, co-main event, biggest stage that I fought on. But no, there was no pressure, no pressure at all.
You said there that you were smiling coming out on your ring walk. Can you imagine then being a main event in Belfast, in Ireland? Can you imagine that?
It would be unbelievable. It's like after Saturday night, like genuinely, I can't wait for that moment because I enjoyed every second of that ring walk, and I milked every second of it. I took my time because when I come out and I heard everyone, I got goosebumps doing like coming out, walking to the ring. I couldn't believe it, the reception that I got, and it meant the world. It meant the world to me. Hearing everyone chanting my name and cheering me on, it was a special feeling. And like I say, I probably right now I can't imagine that in Belfast. That would just be electrifying and would be amazing.
Well, Eddie seems to be high on you. He seems to be confident that you will be headlining in Belfast. Obviously, Paul Reddy, your manager as well, he'll work his magic along the way to get you that right opponent. But when you talk about pressure and stuff like that, when you enter the ring, you don't feel it because obviously that's the fighter in you. But when Eddie Hearn, who's probably the world's biggest promoter right now, and he calls you the Irish Canelo. Now, he's called a few people the Golovkin, the Irish Golovkin, or the Mexican this and the Mexican that before, and it seems they've come on stuck. So when Eddie Hearn does call you the Irish Canelo, do you feel any pressure from that?
None at all, Andy. Genuinely none at all, because I keep saying this, I don't feel pressure in boxing. The only pressure I feel is what I put on myself. There's expectations and whatever else, but no one's expectation way mine for myself. I believe that I'll be a world champion. I want to be a world champion, so I'll set my sights very, very, very high and expect the best. So no one else's expectation or pressure they put on me is more than my own. And in terms of like feeling pressure and kind of coming, like you're saying, coming unstuck, there's some certain fights coming unstuck. I genuinely don't feel that. I don't feel any sort of pressure. Maybe that's just me being a composed, relaxed fighter, but pressure's for tires.
Yeah.
I've been doing this since I was 7 years old. This is the sport that I love, a hobby. Do you know what I mean? I don't. I've been doing this every single day. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel no pressure.
In terms of what's next for you, then, obviously, I mean, Conlan Rubio, Carlos Rubio, is obviously a tough Mexican opponent who came to fight, gave you the 10 rounds. He actually was firing shots back at you as well. He hit the backhand. He landed a good backhand, couple of backhands.
He caught me a couple of shots as well. Look.
What happened to the head movement?
And do you know what? That's another thing that I neglected a bit as well. A couple of people, my coaching stuff, saying I wasn't as active with my head movement. So, but listen, fair play to Rubio, because he didn't allow me to do what I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? And that's the test that I needed. I needed someone that wasn't just gonna kind of let me dictate the fight for 10 rounds or until it. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Until I stopped him.
Seem to be a busy man with his phone, Kevin.
I'm getting mad phone calls. Yeah, he didn't let me to dictate the fight and get the stoppage or whatever else. So for a play, I needed that. I needed someone who was gonna fire back with me and test me in stages and push me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like I said to you there, he's only lost against Charles Conwell, who's he's like yourself, Charles Conwell. He's up and coming middleweight. Roughly about the same record, 16-0, I believe he is, 15-0, 16-0. So he's only lost to some of the best guys coming through in that middleweight division. So for you going into your 12th professional fight, Rubio's obviously a very, very good fighter. You're going to have to step up again. Do you know what I mean? So have you had words with your management or your coach or anything like that on what's next for you? Because like I say, as you get further to the top, the names get less and less, but they get better and bigger names. So have you thought about what's next for you?
Yeah, we spoke briefly on Saturday night and even before the fight that it's, and I've said in interviews and I've said that I don't need to, and I don't really see the point because I don't know how long I could hold it for. But I think we're potentially going to try and move down weight to 154. Yeah.
Even you'll be a beast down there, mate. You're already built like a.
I know.
A fucking truck.
Do you know what? I make middleweight. It's not easy. Do you know what I mean? It should never ever be easy. But like, I come in a pound or a pound and a half under, having breakfast, eating the night before, eating 2 nights before. Do you know what I mean? Healthy Nando's after sessions and stuff. So I don't struggle like some other fighters do to make the weight. So I think it's one of them things where I'm caught between both.
Yeah.
I'd be a massive 154, but I'm not a massive 160, and it's one of them ones where we're gonna see how low I can get down and perform, and maybe come in the next 157, 156, and see how we perform and if I can do it healthily.
I think I spoke to you 2 interviews ago. I think I was out in Texas or something like that. But I was in America one time when I spoke to you, and I spoke about obviously just your height. Like, you're not very tall for middleweight, but neither's Canelo. Canelo's not tall for super middleweight, but you kind of said that as well. He says, well, I'm not tall, but I'm big, and my frame is big and stuff like that. So I know you've got big legs as well. So where is the weight going to come from? That's 6 pounds is a lot. So where do you think that you're going to lose it?
I do believe that I will have to maybe cut a bit of muscle.
Yeah.
Last time I checked was a couple of years ago. I'd have to get it done again, but I was 5-6% body fat at middleweight. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to go anything lower than 3% body fat. But yeah, I probably would have to cut a bit of muscle. Listen, I'm gonna sit down with my nutritionist, get all the tests done properly, have a plan put in place, and follow the plan and really give it a go. And if I feel like I can't do it healthily, then I won't do it, because I won't put my health at risk. I won't risk my career in terms of taking a silly loss because of trying to make a weight that I've probably outgrown. So listen, we'll see if I can do it, and if I can, then I'll campaign it at 154. It could benefit me in terms of being a better option going forward and becoming a world champion. I always remember my amateur coach saying, you'll be a world champion at middleweight, but I 100% believe you. There's no doubt you'll be a world champion at light middle. If you can make light middle, I think it would benefit you a lot more. So if I can't do that and do it healthily, then I will. And there's some big fights for me at light middle, and it may benefit me going forward.
Well, the light middleweight division domestically in the UK, anyway, especially with guys like Troy Williamson, and I think Liam Smith's light middle for the Vargas fight as well. Do you know what I mean? And then Ted Cheeseman. It's an unbelievable stacked division worldwide as well. You've got Charlo and Castano fighting each other. Tim Tszyu out of Australia. What's his name? What's the Madrimov as well at light middle. I mean, so even if you do go to middle, come down to light middle, you're not escaping the big guys and the top names.
Exactly, yeah.
You're coming down to fight probably even tougher fighters at one fight.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're just to come down. You're actually going to be probably in a tougher division.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's not like both divisions are stacked with unbelievable fighters. So either way, I'm going to be in big, exciting fights.
Well, listen, it's the exciting times for you. Like I said to you before, I'm a fan of your style and the way you approach the game, and you live the life. So it's good to see that you're getting the rewards. And it was a good fight on Saturday night. I really enjoyed it. But I don't know I do want to get your opinion on Wood Conlan fight. I don't know how much you saw of that fight, but if you did see any of it, man, what a fight it was, and just get your reaction to it.
Yeah, I was ringside. Obviously cheering Mick on. The best fight I've seen live. Absolutely unbelievable from both fighters. You've seen the technical ability of Mick, and how great of a technical fighter he is, and what a shot in the first round. And like, he really impressed me with his inside game, opening up Wood with body shots and stuff like that. How tough is Lee Wood? Unbelievable heart, grit, determination. Because that performance from Mick would have broke a lot of fighters. Not even physically, but mentally. Mick was world class on Saturday night, and Lee was able to kind of get through the tough times in the fight, and just no matter what, give his all. So it was an unbelievable fight to watch, an unbelievable fight to be a part of and see. And my heart goes out to Mick. I'm heartbroken for him, because for me, I think it was a minute and 40 or a minute 50 away from being a world champion. But that's the sport. Do you know what I mean? One fight can change, or one punch can change everything, and that's exactly what happened.
I know you've got to give credit to Lee Wood for sticking in there, because Mick was actually pummeling with body shots and he was dropping his elbows, and Mick was coming over the top with that southpaw backhand, that looping backhand, hurting him. But credit to Lee for sticking in tough. I don't know what they do in Nottingham, because Carl Froch was tough as nails. So I don't know what's in that water, but they're tough as nails there. But like I said, Mick was 1 minute plus away from becoming a world champion. So it must be heartbreaking for him right now.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, I'm sure it'll be heartbroken. But he'll come again. Mick's a resilient guy. That was not a nice way to go out. Do you know what I mean? Obviously getting knocked out, falling out of the ring right in front of his family and stuff. But I believe he'll be world champion. I believe he'll rebuild and come again. I'd love to see that fight again. I'm not too sure Lee Wood would want it because of how tough it was, and maybe just wants to go down a different route in terms of fighting some of the other big names, Santa Cruz, and the rest of them. So he probably won't want it, but I'd love to see that again and see Mick become world champion.
I'd love to see the fight again as well, but that's just the fan in me. Do you know what I mean? I would love.
Yes, exactly.
One of the best fights. I've not been at a live fight because I've just had a wee baby 3 weeks ago, so I've not been at a live fight. But finally watching the fight on TV, I've not jumped around my living room for a long time, but that fight made me jump all around the place.
It was crazy. I couldn't believe. I didn't the pace that both fighters set so early on. I couldn't believe it, and just to sustain that for 12 rounds, and probably was Mick's downfall if I'm being honest. And I think he said it himself. He doesn't want to be in them type of fights. But I think that was maybe his downfall, because he did become fatigued, tired, and got caught with a shot that he didn't see, and that was the result of fighting so hard so early.
Definitely. Well, listen, great night on Saturday night for yourself. Anyway, you got the win against a tough opponent. The only way is up. Like I said to you, bigger names coming in the future. If you get down to 154, you're going to be an exciting addition to that division anyway. Well, Keevan, thank you so much for your time. I know you didn't need to, because you're probably resting up now, well-deserved rest, but thank you so much for your time, brother. I do appreciate it.
No problem at all, Andy. It's always great speaking to you.
Thank you, brother. Hopefully I'll see you soon, my man.
See you soon. Take care.
Cheers, bro. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.